G'day everybody, welcome to another week of Martial Olympiad 8v8. I am Just Call Me Ash, and today I have co-casting with me Mr. Lerm God. How are you, mate?
Yeah, good yourself.
I am very well. Today's game is, White Knight Legion versus Potato Killers. Now, I'm going to go straight to the stats page here, just to give everybody a bit of an idea of just how damn tight this division is going to be. Do you want to run us through how tight it is going to be from your point of view, mate?
Oh, mate, it's a four-way tie almost at this point. There's a lot of options that really can come through. At the moment, we've got Death from Above leading the way, but they're one entire set ahead of everyone else. So we've got Smoke Adders, we've got White Knight Legion, and Potato Killers. Pretty much, if they 5-0 their drops today, if any three of these teams 5-0, they could be a very strong chance of taking the lead.
It's going to be good. Yeah,
absolutely.
It can go any way, literally. I mean, Potato Killers 5-0, White Knight Legion 5-0. Like, it's going to upset the Billy card, even though they're in what is third and fourth place at the moment, ignoring Division A Aardvarks, of course, because that's just the Division A teams that were doing a crossover round to make Div B work with the teams that they have. I'm just flicking over to the matches that we still have left as well. So because we have Smoke Adders and Clan Crossfire here, and also the Answer 42 and the MS guys, like the board as it looks now, it's not finished. There is a lot more to go here. So
absolutely, and it's going to come down to basically what Clan Crossfire I think can throw at Smoke Adders, because from my pick from watching the matches, Smoke Adders have been probably the slight pick of them. But look, they've ended up in a position where they haven't played themselves away from everyone else. They've left the competition too close. And Clan Crossfire are a team that I wouldn't discount.
No, I wouldn't either. I mean, they pulled out some really good drops. I'm just going to expand this list here. Who was it? They pulled out some really good drops a couple of weeks back, I think it was. Yeah, against Potato Killers. They beat them. So it's it could go basically any which way depending on what happens here. Now, I'm assuming, well, not assuming, I'm going to predict we're going to have a 3-2 here. I don't know which way. I think the match sets are going to be extremely close. So we're just going to have to wait and see. If someone does 5-0 the other, though, Smoke Adders have to win. Like, Smoke Adders to secure first, even though they look like they're pretty close to doing it first. If they lose to Crossfire, say Clan Crossfire win 5-0, again, which I wouldn't discount either, mate. Like, that means that they're going to be tied with Death from Above. So
absolutely, and I mean, I don't know. I should go back through and see how they went against each other as the tiebreaker, but
just looking at it, yeah,
just expanding
it. Just having a quick look here. Who did they beat? DFA. There you go. So Smoke Adders on a tie would win. There we go. So man, this is
going off that then. So Smoke Adders technically then will be second regardless at this point.
Yep. So if they lose all their drops.
If they lose all 5.
Yeah.
Okay. So they've got Death from Above below them no matter what almost at this point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, but it's fucking. That's
this is really good. Like, I honestly, in like 2 years of watching comp MWO, I don't think we've had a season, or sorry, competitive McWarrior in general, where it's going to come down to basically the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams playing their games could totally upset first, second, third, and fourth. Like, what's that? You know, does it get any better?
Absolutely.
Like, it's amazing.
Oh, absolutely, and look, the more coverage we get for this season and the next season as well, it can only get tighter, I think, for the future ahead.
I said that yesterday.
Might end up moving. Yeah, one of these teams might end up in Div A though, but
maybe not. I mean,
still leave a really
if it's such a if the div ends up so tight at the end, I mean, would you touch it? You know, would you move the team? Would you leave them there? It's really hard, to call right now.
The question will come from more of the team at the bottom, whether they drop off or not. To me, that's what would be the more likely option.
Potentially, yeah. I think that might definitely be how it is going to go. Now, these guys are just asking about the map ban. What we might do, just going into drop 1, I might flick over to the map strat while I have a quick chat to these guys and sort that out. Want to maybe give us a little bit of a run through of what you think we might see, being this is the big drop?
Okay, so I typically will. I'm imagining I'm going to see the typical play by both teams. Let me just change these end sizes. There we go. So normally from Team 2, the typical movement is sort of a wide rotation into try to take the 3 cap towards theta. And from the Team 1 side, usually I've been seeing the defensive hold along this line, a few pop tarts along the back wall. It's a very awkward little side though, because theta is actually very covered. So usually we'll see theta originally taken by Team 1, but Team 2 will rotate over theta. So typically you end up with a big fight right over this central marker, and whoever seems to push the other team back will win the match. What I would like to see though from Team 2 here is basically them to push really hard and then just open up the door for Vortex and Yondu Udonta to probably come in from the back with Assault Mechs and just kill everyone. That'll be my expectation this drop.
We're just having a little bit of a discussion about the map ban here. The guys don't know how to give me a link to their map ban. Even though that we've been doing this for 7 weeks now, they still are not sure what and how it works. Yeah. Anyway, what we'll do while we're waiting, we'll go through what is the drop order. So drop 1 obviously is, as you said, the big tonnage drop. So it's 575 tons to 625 tons. And Team 1 being the home team. Now, Team 1 is WKL. So that's how they're doing it. The mech pool as well, very important. If you look down along the bottom, is you can only use each chassis 3 times over the 5 set of drops. So say you bring 3 assassins in 1 drop, that's it. You cannot use them again for the rest of your match set. So I think it's added some flavor. What do you think?
I've been personally a massive fan of these drops as an assault pilot preferred player. This is just the perfect match to just farm up a good score and really show your worth in an assault mech. It also gives an opportunity for the lighter players who are really going to be 1 or 2 light mechs in each drop to show off their wares in their 1v1, 2v2 potential, because whoever wins the light fight often will win the cap war.
Yep.
So it's a very interesting little scenario that it's set up.
Now, they've given me the map ban link. I'm just going to ask them to see if they want to do it as in now. After drop 3. We'll just ask these guys, see what they want to do, how they want to do it. Right, they're going to do it now. Ooh, all right, let's flick over to map ban. I'll send you it as well so you can see what's going on. 1 sec, guys, while I transfer over here. Map ban, it's going to be a little bit out of date. Right one in
Anything
there.
but Viridian Bog here, right? Let's say Viridian Bog. Let's give us the Bog.
Yep. All right. Let's have a look. So yeah, we have Alpine Peaks, River City, Rubelite Oasis, Terra Therma, and Viridian Bog to choose from. So we've seen quite a bit of Terra. Oh, bang! Alpine Peaks is already out for WKL. Now what are we going to get?
I think it's a good option. WKL need to ban off all the long-range maps if they can.
Yep.
Vortex, Yondu, these guys.
Yeah, well, Viridian Bog's down as well. Rubelite just got KO'd. So it's going to be River City or Terra. What is Shadow Killer's going to select? It's Terra Therma again! Again!
They're giving us the Terra. Oh,
I mean, this has been, honestly, the most that I've seen Terra Therma played in consecutive weeks, week on weeks. The Potato Killers seem to favour this map, although they haven't performed very well on it at the same time. So,
look,
interesting choice.
I think they're just trying to be a bit out there. Like, you do not see these maps in Div A. Like, you will not see Terra or Viridian Bog in Division A.
No.
Like,
Well, I mean,
2 maps that are.
We did last season of comp, which was last year. We did see Terra a little bit, but it didn't go so well. Sometimes due to strats and executions and other things like that. Like, I actually like Terra. I think it's a really good map to do some interesting stuff on. But if you don't play it very well, you you're in trouble, right? Very quickly.
I'm with you 100%. It's just on Conquest, it is not a balanced map for a 3-point set. So you usually get one team with a 3 cap and the other team trying to find the other team the whole time.
Yep.
It's a very awkward one, and it doesn't play out evenly. So for a best of 5 series, you almost like guaranteeing yourself a 1-1 if the 2 teams are even.
Well, see, I like the option. I like the option of having some different options for strats on this map. Like, there's actually a couple of ways you can play it from either side to control that 3 cap really early. And if you do it, then well, you're laughing. Like, if you control that early Theta cap, and I think Theta is probably one of the more important parts early in the map from both sides, but depending on which side you're on, you can get away with skipping Theta depending on your strat. So it's very interesting.
It's just whether the team will engage into the Theta fight or whether they want to circle cap and then create, you know, the Phoenix Legion dream of just 4 caps around the outside with mechs everywhere. It's a chaotic map. Let's go that way.
Oh yeah, it's all over the joint. Like, and if your communication and scouting is poor, you're gonna have a very bad time. Like, I think we saw one of the Potato Killers games a couple of weeks ago. I think was I casting it or watching it? Like, they basically got sandwiched by the other team because poor communication and stuff like that. Like, their lights weren't aware of what was going on, and maybe their heavies or assaults weren't calling it. Not sure what it was, but they basically got sandwiched and lost a couple of lights fairly early. And I think it was actually against Smoke Addicts. They absolutely rolled them. So very interesting. Nonetheless, they're dropping. We're off and running.
Now, so in this match, do you think the Vortex will come into the play a lot, considering we've had the late inclusion of this top tier Yar's List pilot?
Well, I mean, this is the thing. Yar's List is Yar's List, right? Doesn't tell you how good someone plays in comp. I mean, if you look at say Potato Killers versus WKL, I'm pretty certain Potato Killers has a much higher overall, but Potato Killers realistically have performed rather poorly over a lot of the drops. I mean, if you go just by Yar's List, they should be in spot 1 comfortably right now, but they're not. You know, like, other teams are in front of them or are beating them because they're practicing and all this other sort of stuff that impacts drops that stats alone can't rule out, really.
Oh, absolutely. But are you seeing the memes that are coming in? There's a Boomlander. There's a Boomlander out there.
The Boomlander, really? Oh, there is.
Oh yeah, there is a. What the hell is going on here?
Well, Team 1 of WKL, we have a Blood Asp, Annie, Bushy, Nikia, Javelin, Annie, Nikia, and a Blood Asp. So a lot of DACA there. What's going on the other team?
From Team 2, we've got a Victor, Mad Cat, Warhammer, Highlander, 733C, Summoner, Annihilator, Blood Asp, and a Firestarter. So some interesting choices here on this team. I think there's going to be a lot of pop-tarting happening.
We've got an early fight down here near Theta. Samaru's backing out though. He doesn't want anything that Nightbird has to offer him at all. So yeah, bit of chicken run for there from Samaru. Left Theta behind. Theta Killers now control the map.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how far they decide to rotate towards Theta, considering they don't really have a strong hold here at this point.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the Team 1 side there, and well, basically what's happening here is Potato Killers now have a line set up ready to go because they control the map. See, this is one way to basically play this map, is to control it and draw them into you, and that's what Potato Killers are doing. They're drawing WKL into them.
Absolutely, but I'm not a big fan of this push style that
Ragnar's dead. Ragnar's just standing there in an Annie with his periscope, and he's dead. Ragnar's dead. He's done. He's out of the fight. WKL are now getting pushed. They're getting pushed by this team here. So Tios takes down Ragnar. Oh wow. Okay. So Hell's Mannix here is pushing on Drop Bear in that Nike SC. He's getting pushed. Nightbird is harassing Texan in his Annie over the back there. What else are you looking at, mate?
So looking down here, actually, St. Paul is getting attacked quite heavily by Annihilator, Texan Scrub Lord, and Mr. Samaru.
Vortex takes down, who is that? Tios. So, Nightbird is critically damaged early, fighting Texan Scrub Lord there. Hells doesn't quite finish off Texan. Samaru gets him.
Texan
Drop Bear gets...
amazing work. Texan gets another here at the bottom.
It's 2 big kills right there from Texan.
if he takes down Yondu too, like this is
Yep.
just man mode.
That is going to steamroll heavily now. That's going to steamroll very, very, very heavily here. Oh, wow. WKL take drop 1.
And Alexander here, he's in a world of hurt. He's going to get run down by this. Is this a Rack Bushwhacker? Oh my.
Rack Bushy, eh? Yeah, Rack Bushy.
He's getting farmed like a boss.
Getting farmed, alright.
Yeah,
well, there you go. There you go, guys. And WKL, fairly fresh here. Just sort of flicker through their mix. I haven't taken a lot of damage here, really. I mean, Brow was fresh.
They're incredibly fresh. But Texan Scrublord is 90% of the reason of that, from what I could see. He tanked 3 mechs for what seemed an eternity.
Way too long. Way too long. Yeah.
And then he took them down to go with him. Like, it was ridiculous.
And there wasn't a lot of focus. I mean, I'm looking at the hill here. You know, where Texans sort of died, you know, and 2 of the guys up here from Potato Killers could very much have shot Texan. I mean, the Annie's big, it's a huge target. And this again comes back to what I was saying earlier about comms. Half of the Potato Killers teams, they don't use comms. I know 3 of them don't call actively or do anything during the game in that way. So, how do you know what you're focusing?
Absolutely.
If no one's focusing and no one's calling targets. Microphone's very important for competitive play.
I actually found it very interesting as well that they actually managed to separate their firing lines so heavily, White Knight Legion, but then they still managed to bring it all together at the end. I thought they were caught out there when I saw the Annihilator getting jumped on by 3 mechs.
And you want to start running through the damage numbers there. I'm just going to load it up onto the full stats page, but in the meantime, go for it.
Alright, so for White Knight Legion, we've got Texan Scrublord leading the way with 709 damage in that Annihilator. That is just way too high for how... that is ridiculous.
Yeah, he farmed way too much damage out. Well, not farmed, I mean, he killed them all, basically.
Great spread by the rest of them. Teos, Drop Bear, both getting in the 500s. We've got several 400s here in Draven, John, and Brower.
Yep.
And on the other side, really only Yondu and Vortex getting over the 400 mark. Ragnar Baron, he got wiped for 71 damage. That was... The snowball was too heavy once that mech was lost for nothing.
I think Ragnar basically threw his mech away for nothing. Actually, to be fair, maybe we flick over to the map strat quickly here and kind of explain what went on, and that should pretty well illustrate basically what went wrong there for PK, because I thought they were actually in the better position.
Well, that's the thing, they were 100%, but then for some reason, the majority of their mechs decided to pile up onto literally one grid square and suicide push. I think there was a little bit of Ragnar picked up the top here. We had a couple of mechs running down this way, and then the rest panicked and then defaulted to NASCAR mode and ran over here to die to Texan Scrublord.
I mean, we had over the back here, we had like a, what is it? Oh, sorry, I need to change the color there to blue. I mean, it had a WKL firing line essentially across here and sort of here. And as soon as Ragnar stuck the periscope up on the Annie, he's just getting absolutely shredded. Like he'd lost basically both torsos before he even got to the top of the ridge.
Oh yeah, he went from 100% I think like 46% in all of about 3
seconds.
wasn't
very long looking at it.
Teos' strike finished him off. So the reason that went so wrong though was because they took so long to do that push. So that push is okay as long as they spread the line out through Charlie 3, Charlie 4.
Yep.
But if you go over the same grid square, you're eating strikes. You basically have a longer range of fire coming in at you, and there's too many choices. You can't focus fire if you've got 8 mechs standing there looking at you, going, "Well, what are you doing?" Like,
well, the other thing here too is right. Like they had a 3 cap. Like Potato Killers had the 3 cap. Why? Why push? You don't need to. Like they actually had earlier on. I'm just going to rub the board a little bit here, like a little bit of a better firing line across here early on. But like you said, they moved up to this choke point here, and you can't push over this hill in an Annie. Like it is basically impossible to do that. You need to do it with a Mad Cat or a Blood Asp, something that's a bit faster, has some more speed, more mobility. You know, not guns basically hanging around its belly really.
Absolutely. I hate to say it, but from our EMP Black Omen match, they're probably copying a little bit of what we were trying to do from Black Omen. But they're not quite bringing in all the elements of, if you're going to push like that, if you're going to blind push, you need to do it as fast as you can and as shockingly as you can.
Yeah,
not
you have to
pile up,
brutalize, literally brutalize your
Exactly.
enemy with shock and awe, and you got to be quick. You can't hesitate. Annie's too slow to, Annie's are too slow to do that push.
Annie's should, yeah, Annie's need to go through the little Charlie 3 corridor on the left-hand side against the wall, and they need to be coming in behind the Blood Asp and the Mad Cats, not going first to use their armor.
Yep.
They're not. People will often mistake armor for being the pushers, but you need to sort of spread that around. And like, Annihilate is the biggest damage mech on the field. You can't trade it for nothing. You can't trade it for an entry. It needs to be there at the end.
Yeah, the Annie is
mistake a lot of.
The weapon platform. It's a turret, you know. It's like the Direwolf. It's the turret. It doesn't go first. It has to come in the middle or very much towards the end. If you've got that sort of that range DACA on it, you know, you need to bring all that gun to bear. I mean, it's different. Say you had like an Atlas pushing over or something. That thing is designed to eat damage. Its weapons are not like an Annie. Yeah. Actually, there, to be honest, if they had an Atlas as opposed to the Annie, talking an extra 15, 20 k's an hour faster as well. I mean, you can run nearly 60 k's an hour in an Atlas with the LFE 360, no dramas, and you can just charge over there. We've actually done a few practices internal, like, hey, bring the Atlas, just charge over the hill. The thing eats 800 damage and basically half the mech's heat of the enemy team. So you get them all nice and hot shooting one Atlas. All your guys have got plenty of ammo left. So, yeah, look, bit of an error there for Potato Killers.
I mean, even the other option is, I mean, last one of the options is send a commando over, the unkillable mech.
The commando, yeah, send the commando over, go for a little bit of shock and awe, and there we go.
It's a theory we lately came up with. You send over unkillable mechs if you're going to do that sort of stuff.
Yeah, the commando, mate, scares everyone. Like, everyone shits their pants because you can't kill the damn thing. It doesn't matter what you do; they're indestructible.
They have no hitboxes. You're just firing into the abyss.
We are moving on to Forest Colony. These guys are not mucking around today. So yeah, Forest Colony is up and running. We're about to hit the drop already. They're not wasting any time. We'll come back to a little bit of map strat in a minute. I guess that said, Forest Colony, light drop. It's there's not much else that's going to be going on here. It's a light medium drop. It's drop 2 and drop 3. There is low tonnage. I'll go through with you guys shortly how that tonnage works and all that sort of stuff. Again, I feel like we've kind of missed that a little bit here, but that's okay. We'll come back to it.
There's some interesting options already straight away. There's for Team 2 here, Potato Killers. They've got 2 Grasshoppers, and they're going to sort of tank the tonnage that way and bring a lot of light, faster mechs. Vulcans, Assassins, Wolfhounds, Irby.
Look at team 1, mate. Look at the commando already, right? Speak of the unkillable devil. Himself is right here. But we've got linebackers. What is it? Linebacker? Stormcrow, Crabs, strong medium pulse push is what's coming here. A fast shock and awe push coming from WKL. Based on mechs and mech choices here, I think WKL are going to win it from the mech lab at least, especially with Grasshoppers. I mean, the Grasshoppers managed to get some really, really good burns on legs early on something like a linebacker. Then they could actually stop this push, but it's going to be hard.
Well, here's the funny thing. So linebackers have to push. So they're not actually an amazing mech. They need to get in there. And
they're doing it. They're already on.
Here we go. They're coming straight in. Yep, that's good. They've got the right idea.
Nice firing line here from Potato Killers to set up to receive, but they're now split up. So Theos is on his own on the left here, but Drop Bear on the right is getting fairly well shredded by the entire team. Drop Bear doesn't know which way to go. I think there's some comms issues.
They've overheated. I think he's going to keep going for a little bit. They've overheated on him.
No, well, Draven gets held down in that Grasshopper, yeah.
Now, St. Paul should be the next to go, but Yondu is getting attacked instead for some reason here.
I'm trying to watch 2 fights going on here. So you got Serial, Vortex, and Relics on one side, unable to convert some kills right now. Ragnar just got legged there in the Wolfhound. I saw that. Samaru's got to be just about dead. Let me have a
Everyone's shooting everyone here.
He's legged. Yep, Samaru goes down. Yondu gets, Teos gets Yondu down. Nightbird gets Samaru, finishes him off. But it's...
Why not going to come back strong here? They're running downhill now.
It's going to steamroll. These mechs over here, Relics, Vortex, and Serial have been unable to convert the kills on these crabs basically quick enough to affect the battle and come in and clean up at the last minute. So, there we go. WKL going their way.
Pie's coming in hot. He's gonna just man mode Vortex. Vortex will not even be able to attack this little thing.
No, no way. There's no way the commando is going to take any more than another 3% damage, even if he gets shot another 30 times.
So this is, oh, the strike. The strike is.
Yeah, that's the team damage. Oh, here we go.
No. Oh no. That's a lot of total drinks managed. Holy dooly.
That was some good team damage right there.
Oh, tried to finish off Scout Derek there at the end.
Nearly, almost, and then I think one of the WKL guys shot their teammate too. I don't know who was that right there at the end.
Yeah, that Pie was going for the finish on Scout Derek. Alright, going through the damage numbers here for White Knight Legion, we have top scoring Scout Derek in the Crab with 346 damage. Looks like Teos did quite well as well in the Wolfhound 2 with 339. Very good spread otherwise. The linebacker did drop early, but he actually did really well tanking, so I think even though it's 86 damage, he did what he needed to do. On the other side, St. Paul in the Hunchback. Looks like he did some pretty good work there with 399, but that mech heat capped too heavily early, and Vortex, got a bit there with 337, but no one was able to finish any kills.
Wow, Vortex with team damage there, only 4 team damage. So that strike basically did nothing. So they're obviously already very, very dead there. So,
all the highest team damage out of all that.
Yeah, well, 17 damage for Serial, and Pi did 17. So I think that was that last little alpha tickle at the end.
It must have been a death strike there that he dropped it on the ground as he was dying.
Well, we're going to flick back to the match chat very quickly. I want to have a little bit of a draw on there, and what happened?
So basically, it looked like we had, I think, Potato Killers set up in this line here on the left-hand side. I'll do this in a bit bigger because I have to zoom right in.
Yep.
A little firing line here, and then a firing line across the top. And then we had, I don't know how they won it, to be honest, when I look back at it, but White Knight Legion just doing the man mode rush straight into the center and just see what happens.
Pretty much. That's it.
It was very impressive. Now, the thing was, though, so visually from the map, it looked like that White Knight Legion were in a lot of trouble, but for some reason, whatever happened, I don't know what happened in Pickle Factory, but the other team, Potato Killers, were unable to output any damage whatsoever, it appeared on the map. I saw no one get really injured at all for White Knight Legion.
Yeah, I think this fight over here, up around this this G6 region over here, it was the 2 crabs, or maybe another mech as well, versus the Vulcans for Potato Killers, and they just couldn't affect a kill or basically force basically the sort of the steamroll, that avalanche of getting a couple of kills on that side of the map, while all the grasshoppers and everything over this side got pushed by the brawlers. There was definitely I was just going to say, there was some indecisiveness here. Let me make that thicker as well. From WKL, like, you could sort of see them sort of stall in this area, and some mechs came back around, like the linebacker, and some sort of went that way. Like, there was definitely a little bit of comms problem there, I think, early, like, indecisiveness from a couple of players.
Focus, yeah.
Which way do we go? Who do we shoot?
I think the majority of the match went down the gurgler for Potato Killers there, because essentially the linebacker did not die from the alpha of every mech.
Yep.
So the linebacker got focused by all 8, didn't die, fell into the low ground, and then heat capped the Hunchback and the Grasshoppers.
I also think,
so there was no heat remaining.
Yeah, I also think the other thing too, Potato Killer sitting up on this hill here. I think it was this, no, sorry, forward hill. No, it was this H6 a little bit forward. So you've got this sort of more forward sort of hill here. You've got this hill all the way around the back. If they're going to play that level of range, they should have been further back on that Hotel 5 hill. Because Teos came around here early in the Wolfhound and basically just started harassing them from the corner, and that takes an entire, Grasshopper, was that 65, 70 tons of mech, 2 of them straight out of the fight, and the Hunchback 2C, all from one light mech, So, yeah, I think a little bit of a mech lab error there.
Well, the other thing they could do too is if they jumped onto the high ground and then just shoot down on the crabs. I mean, there's a lot of options they could do with that deck. There was a lot of jump jets on their side, but they didn't really.
Yeah, you could have easily started your guys up and put everyone on top. The whole lot. Why not put 8 mechs up there? You got linebacker, 2 crabs, can't do shit. Literally.
It's the reverse. It's a reverse HPG. You put him in the setup.
Yeah, and you can all just camp camp up high and force a tie that way. So
That's what I was. I was expecting to see in the grasshoppers going in that they would do something like that, but they just stood there and waited to die.
yeah,
The other thing was,
yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what that was there. It was a little bit confusing, to be honest.
I'm going to put the win down as well to the Commando 1D. Might have also heat capped them. I mean, unkillable. He was the inland mech that was getting shot at by a fair bit of them.
Oh, well, the Commando just ran straight in there. I think he went straight into the Vulcans and, Commando running up hills, down hills, around the hills. Can't kill that thing.
It's funny we mentioned Commando, then it comes in and carries so hard.
I know, right? Like literally, it's like a plague of locusts or something. But one Commando is enough. That's all you need, just the one. Now, I'm quickly going to go just through the drop order here, just so the guys at home or at work or whatever. So 350 tons to 375, and no lock on weapons, so no streaks, ATMs or LRMs. I mean, I guess you could bring LRMs, but why would you, right? Now,
absolutely.
Let's have a look. Oh shit, I tabbed in too early. Okay, what do we have, mate? On team one side.
Alright, team one side for Potato Killers, we have Assassin, Flea, Vulcan, Hunchback, Warhammer, Grasshopper, Wolfhound, and Uziel. So they're doing the same sort of setup.
And WKL, we've got basically fairly similar. Another linebacker, another Stormcrow, Vulcans, Wolfhound. You know what? The deck hasn't really changed, except for the Commando is now a Mislinks. I don't know why you'd change the Commando out, unless you're maybe saving your Commandos for drop. The 1D specifically for drop 4 and 5. I can't see why you wouldn't bring the Commando again, to be honest. I think it's stronger than the Mislinks.
Also noting no Piranhas still.
Yeah, no Piranhas for either team yet, so I'd say we're probably going to see something similar to what we had yesterday from Death from Above, basically bringing 3 Piranhas, 1 drop in 4 and 5, and then going about that business that way.
Here comes the push, so this is going to be good if they get on top of serial number here in the Uziel.
Back. 3 large lasers and 4 mediums on the Grasshopper 5H.
Yeah, I really don't. I don't really like what they're trying to do here. I think this is going to be a bit tough for them to. Although they're taking a very wide path, they might be.
Yeah, I'm just watching Potato Killers here now. They're spreading out quite well.
That linebacker.
Now
that linebacker on the left, Draven.
Sorry, there we go. Now, there's a strike dropped in front of Serial. Now, this could hurt him in the Uziel, but Teos is coming around in the back here now. Though the concave is now starting to fall on Potato Killers.
Ooh, Yondu's taken a big hit.
Yeah, Yondu's got shot in the back there. That was a Teos shot in the back, but I think Teos is going to go down there. I think Teos is dead for his...
has to go down here, but they're giving up back shots here.
Yep, Teos goes down for his efforts. Drop Bear is on the right of my screen.
Drop Bear's going next.
I think Drop Bear's going next, yeah. Ragnar's leg, though. Texan is on him, but Hells isn't able to do a hell of a lot. 2 large pulse and 5 medium lasers. Oh, that Mislinks. Where was that? I didn't see that. Oh, that was over the back there.
I didn't catch him.
What did he kill? He killed...
Barrera's getting 2v1.
Alexander was totally out of position to his team. Vortex and Nightbird with 2 kills rather quickly there. Texan gets Serial down, though, however. Vortex is still alive. Hell's Manix is still alive. So what is going to happen here? Oh, my camera work.
This Hunchback is 1 touch. Someone needs to go kill him.
Now gets pulled down.
Oh, no, Mislinks, not like that.
No, I know, he's harassing, but the problem is the circle is now counting down, right? Draven is legged in the linebacker in the back corner of the map there, but he's counting down the circle.
Ooh,
Texan finishes off Nightbird.
Texan is putting in an extreme amount of work this game. He is absolutely going off in this Vulcan.
Yep, he's done some 2 solid games. Vortex here, unfortunately, isn't shooting and helping Hells, like he's too focused on killing that Mislinks. Again, comms, communications, what's shooting? The Potato Killers are not focusing these matches. There is no focus fire from them, I don't think. Well, I shouldn't say no focus fire. I just don't think there is anywhere near enough focus fire.
Well, that again, though, they didn't take a particularly good line there, White Knight Legion. They took a very long route for some reason.
Yeah, super long.
The linebacker did not... The first linebacker that got focused didn't even go down in the end, so Draven Dark Shadow should have died to all rights from 8 mechs looking at him. But for some reason, he's still there at 47%, still shooting.
And he's legged too. That's the most critical part. Like he's legged, and he was, I think, at about I think at about 65 to 70%, fairly early on in that fight. Yet somehow he's still alive. Run through the damage numbers.
Absolutely. Now, through the damage numbers, Texas Scrubboard leading the way on White Knight's team with 379 with 5 kills, and a lot of good spread after that with 100s and 200s.
Look at their damage though, WKL. Very low damage.
So what I think happened there was that Vortex has got the highest damage with the Flea. The Flea, I think, got a good strike down. I didn't see him doing a whole lot there, but a good strike, I think, went out. The Vortex just got into too many 1v1s. He just went torsos on the wrong mechs. The damage just... It looked like the damage numbers should have actually won for Potato Killers, but...
Yeah, if you were looking at that damage right there on that damage board, 100% agree, mate. I would say Potato Killers won that fight there, but it's gone the other way. You know, there's still 3 mechs alive on WKL's side, and WKL's damage is just so low. I mean, Theos, Brower, Draven, they've done 100. You know, they've barely cracked 120 damage. That's focus fire. That's what that is. This very much comes back to what I said earlier. Potato Killers comms, you know, 3 of their players don't use mics. I know Vortex doesn't, Serial doesn't, and I've watched John do while he's streaming his cockpit stuff. He never calls a target. You know, this is a big problem for their team. If they want to get better, they have to work on this.
100% agree, and they've got the mechanical ability. That team is mechanically extremely sound. They just can't make the change. That's their weakness.
They're
going to make a run.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, Mapstrat, go for the draw on this one, mate, because this is a bit of a long trip around frozen colony.
See, I was gonna try and avoid that, but no, all good. Let's see here. So we got from the red side, we've got basically they ran straight down here. They decided to follow this line up along the top, back down around TLC yellowing off the top here, with a few mechs getting caught randomly around this area. So it was a very weird pincer movement that wasn't meant to be a pincer from what I could see.
I even think some mechs now, correct me if I'm wrong, they even came around through here, some of them too, Potato Killers. WKL. Yeah. I think some even came around the back, not through the trench here, but just through this little cropping there, I think even. Crazy stuff.
I think I did see one of them come through there. He was just scouting Zimbabwe and making sure it was clear.
It was definitely clear.
Yeah. I mean, the Flea was actually sitting hidden for Potato Killers up the top, with the rest of the team skirting the shoreline, and eventually falling back to this area here and setting up their final firing line of... I don't know, like, it looked okay what they did, but I didn't like the mech choices. I didn't like the way they sort of implemented it, but both teams were a bit...
Yeah, I think...
standoffish, a bit hesitant to really make a choice.
Look, WKL pulled it off well. I feel like they should have been punished for their mistakes a lot better. Like you said, that linebacker, he should have... Draven should have been taken off the field very, very, very early in the piece. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. I think that was a key play missed.
Oh, absolutely. But, like, even though he didn't do big damage, he was still a mech on the field putting out damage. And... when you're trying to win these light drops, these are really like a snowball map, like a snowball match. You take out one mech, that's DPS off the field, and your team then is just weaker for it. So until you can finish mechs, you're not going to win these drops.
Oh, totally agree. And again, you keep coming back to this whole, you know, there's been a lot of, I guess, a little bit of drama in this. Oh, you know, and Vortex and Serial, yeah, they're great players. But again, in a team situation, in comp, it plays differently. It plays differently to quick play, and it definitely plays different to faction play. You can't rely on literally pure player skill. Like you just can't do that. If you're not focusing fire, you're not going to win. I mean, WKL showed extreme focus fire that game. I think quite possibly all the games that I've watched of them, that was their best drop so far this season with focus fire.
See, to add to that, I find it amazing. So Texan Scrublord is the guy that I would like to point out here in the spotlight of that. He's finishing 5 mechs on this drop by himself.
Yep.
That guy must be locking targets and listening to what's happening really well. Because even if you're mechanically great, that's a really amazing effort with 8 mechs vying for that with you.
Yep.
He really could be commended by their team for actually probably getting these drops done for them.
Well, the other thing as well too is remembering. So not only you said like focusing the targets, you know, locking targets, knowing where they're weak, But if your team tells you, you know, left leg, right leg, torso, CT, whatever on a certain mech, and he comes back into your vision, you remember that? Bang, you nail that target. You're not going to have high damage if your damage is extremely effective and extremely efficient.
Exactly correct. And he's one of the strongest people I think who are coming out of this tournament, of just people going, well, where's this guy come from? I mean, I hadn't seen him really much before. I thought he was just a casual player, and he's really putting out massive numbers for Div B, even against the Div A teams as well.
Yep, look, I totally agree. Texan is definitely playing his heart out, absolutely. But now these guys haven't locked in, and I think because they've only just done the map ban today, they're going to have a little bit of a couple of minute powwow about how we're going to do it. So we get the opportunity to, one, do a giveaway, and two, go through some match strat. So I'm just going to let these guys know that I'm doing a giveaway. So we'll do, what is it, 1000 MC and a mech bay I've got to throw away here. So we'll start off with a mech bay first.
Come on, Moobot, you can win this.
Yeah, I know, right? Come on, Moobot, you know what to do, buddy. Now, add, what are we doing here? MWO, oh, hang on, MWO Leagues it is. Add that channel in there. Now, what is it? McBay. Oh shit! Now you just need to be here in the chat. You don't have to be too active. I mean, you can also spam some emotes right now. Why not? Spam those emotes, babies. Now, Moonbot, where are you, my friend? Not my friend. You're like my arch enemy, actually. But there we go. Self out of this one. You lurking in there as well or not? There we go. I found you. Now, I think that is it for the bots. Sometimes we have a bunch of other bots in there, but sometimes we don't. And having a quick look, it doesn't look like we've got him today.
Like
nah, see, oh no, Commander Root's back there today. Yeah, he's there today. There was about 5 bots there the other day. So anyway, let's run the giveaway for one McBay.
See if Reckless can do it. Come on, Reckless.
Ooh, Nyrex. Congratulations, sir. Please make sure you drop me a message on Twitch, and I will flick that code over to you once I'm finished doing this cast. You can click on the channel or my name, just call me Ash, and shoot me a message that way, pal. Now, let's go quickly to map strat, mate, because I've told them that we're going to be 2 minutes, so that we can do a little bit of drawing, because this is a pretty important drop for Potato Killers. They need to pull back 2 wins here, and very important for WKL too to get some wins.
Absolutely. So I've sort of drawn out the basic starting motion that most teams will run. But what I typically find, from my memory, Team 2 is decided stronger because you can get the early Kappa Gamma and then rotate through while you have Theta, if you need to, towards Epsilon to try and get even more caps, and have them just rush over Theta. So my memory is Team 1 often will rush Theta from the north side, and Team 2 will often get 3 to 4 caps early.
Yeah, it's interesting to, if you can pressure early and say you go a full aggro push from Team 1 to Theta, you can actually hold Theta quite reasonably easily, basically from having 1 mech here and 1 mech here, and then do what other business you need to go and do around the map effectively, to annoy Team 2. Whereas say Team 2 get Theta early, then Team 1 have their work cut out for them. You know, they have to basically essentially control this back corner of the map, and that's a lot of real estate to cover, you know. So Theta is very important in basically all conquest games, but it's very, very, very important on this map.
Now, to add to that too, it'd be interesting to see if either of these teams will set up to just full DACA night gear. So I think we've only seen 1 night gear so far today, from my memory.
No, we saw 2 from WKL on Frozen. First drop, I think there was 2.
Okay, this could be then a good option then for Potato Killers to pull back a couple of matches. Now, though, to go back to actually the overall stats, like to the division.
Yep.
Now that they've got 3-0, if they get 5-0 here, that's pretty impressive, and they're going to put a lot of pressure on Smoke at us. They're doing it. They're really going to do it.
Just flick back to the leaderboard here. Yeah, so WKL, that's 4 points for a win, 5 points for a win.
4 points for
4
a win.
points. So what's that?
3 points.
Yeah,
So
well, they're already,
3.
mate. They have said to Smoke Adders, come at us. Like Smoke Adders now have to win 3 drops.
I believe so, and the more pressure they put on here, like it's really going to be tough.
This is so good. Like this is going to
a lot to play for.
I said Death from Above would be on their seats watching this game today, and they will be because it's critically important. But Smoke Adders now, rather than have sort of a comfy seat, you know, Potato Killers like WKL, maybe there was a 3-2 decision. It's very much in favor of WKL. I mean, they're headed for a 5-0 so far. If they keep playing the way they're playing, they're going to 5-0 this. If they 5-0 this, Smoke Adders, mate, they got some serious work to do.
See, WKL are now in the lead, actually. From my understanding, they're above 2-8, because even if they do 2 losses, they're still going to be in 2nd place.
Yes, correct. Yep, correct.
Yeah, so yes, if they 5-0 here, it forces Smoke Adders to 4-1 Clan Crossfire.
And Clan Crossfire, Clan Crossfire are definitely not to be taken lightly. I mean, they beat Potato Killers early on in the season. I think they floundered a little. One of their drops in the last couple of weeks. Not sure what sort of went on there. Normally, they're much more. They're a much better side than that, I think, to be honest. I think they just didn't play all that well initially. So, in one of those drops here, they got heavily handed to them. So, I mean, I think they're going to bounce back this week. Going to be on.
So this is interesting too. So there's some very interesting stuff already happening in this drop. I'd like to quickly point out.
Yep.
For the blue side, we've got a lot of DACA. We've got a very weird drop deck with the Battlemaster in there. I think that DPS wise, I'd prefer to be on the White Knight Legion side. So White Knight Legion have also given up the early Theta cap, which I thought was.
I'm looking at that right now. I think this is strategically a bad decision, but. Over here, we have 2 Piranhas chasing an Osiris in Nightbird. So obviously, maybe they're assuming that the PK were going to maybe try and do an early Kappa annoyance. But I mean, now Nightbird's got 2 Piranhas on him, so he's going to need help. He's going to need someone to turn around.
Lines it here, he should be too quick. Like, I'm not sure what he's doing, but he should be able to straight line 10Ks faster than these guys.
Maybe he doesn't have. Oh shit! I've just got the hurricane in my headset. Didn't even know there was a hurricane on this map. Sorry, I should get back to the game. Right now,
in the center, we've got a little bit of trading coming out now as well between the 2 teams.
Now, look what's happening here. I'm just looking at PK's team setup here. There are too many mechs in the wrong spot here. I really don't like this spot when you put 4 mechs here. It's not a good spot. You get struck way too heavily. They need to be spreading out here to the right. And maybe have another mech on the left, like closer to sort of Sigma. But looking at this WKL team sort of setup, wouldn't say they're a hell of a lot better, to be honest.
This is the inexperience. So this team, so Hell's Mannix, Carl Vickers, they don't need to be there. They've got the cap. They can actually pull this right back.
Yep.
Down halfway down the alleyway.
Oh, but have a look what's going on up here. Serial number has got Lerms or ATMs on the top of the bloody mountain. What the? What's going on up? What is going on up there?
Sorry to cut you off. Ragnar Baron going down in the Piranha. He shut down. He's gone. He's dead.
What?
Yeah, no, he shut down in front of the 2 Piranhas. The Piranhas are now 2v1ing Nightbird. And
just watching the fight here. I missed that. Well, that's game.
Nightbird, if they can take Nightbird down here, they're going to circle cap.
Mate, they've got 3 mechs on Nightbird. There is no way Nightbird's going to live. There you go. Nightbird's dead. That is an epic throw from Potato Killer's lights. Whoa, so, wow.
Potato Killers need to see this and just run into the enemy team now to try kill their heavies. They just have to go.
Yep, they've got the numbers. They actually have the numbers now, and they've got maybe 20 seconds to make it good. Theos is getting clagged from Serial up here, like absolutely.
Serial is just sold his soul. He's farming. He's happy.
What is he looming? He must be looming. Yeah, he's looming.
I think he's ATMing.
No, he's looming. No, he's got looms, dude. Theos is just taking an absolute claggering, like absolute clagging all over his head, and he's just about done. He's got basically no leg left.
he's going to lose that arm as well because he's backing up with the alarms coming down on him. So that arm and leg's going to be gone.
Looks like Yondu's
So
just about
Teos
torso
is-
open as well. I think he runs LFE in that, so I mean it's not too bad. But with 6 ER large, I'm not a fan of that build. I'd be taking 5 ER large on this map if it was me with ERs. Oh, Vortex gets Draven down in the ninth gear. Vortex is over on the
They're
side
doing the wrong
there.
decision here. They're trying to shoot this punchback for no reason. They need to just have gone. Like,
Yeah, they need to have pushed way sooner.
indecisiveness, they've just
But look,
Yeah,
it's about to happen. Start the dun noises because the piranhas are about to come up on Yondu in the back there, and he's shooting them, trying to stop them capping. But now they know he's there. In the meantime, though, we've got Texan who's
Texan's
getting
going.
clagged to death. St. Paulie pushing on him. John McFuzzy's about to go down as well. He's getting absolutely clagged as well. I mean, Potato Killer's slow push, but now they're pulling it back. WKL have got no tonnage left. They've only got lights.
1,000 damage, I reckon.
Oh, if Cyril has
There
got
goes-
1,000
there goes
damage, I'll be
Yondu.
surprised. Now, this dragon here from Teos, he's got no leg armor, so he's going to go down. Serial number drops Pi. That's one of the lights down. He
Yeah, he
clagged
just
one of the
clagged the
lights
piranha.
that was on Yondu. What is going on?
There's a UAV. There's a UAV out there. That's how he got him. That's
Yep,
awesome.
I've just seen
Look at
that
Scout
UAV.
there.
Yep, that's what's done that. He's just got absolutely smoked. Now Teos is going down. He's not going to live. Vortex.
Teos is done. Yeah. He's
Oh,
done.
look at that. Vortex is fresh. Looks
Teos
damaged,
needs
but
to
he's
just keep
not.
running away.
Oh, what is going on, mate? Oh, gee whiz.
Keep dancing, Teos. The longer he lives for here, so
He's
now
done.
that they've got a 4 cap against them and they've got no light mechs,
Now,
this is going to be a struggle.
Brower here is coming right around the back here. Potato Killers can hold 3 caps if they get on them. One's nearly at Epsilon over here. Those caps aren't unassailable. This lead is not enough for WKL here, I don't think. Like, we've got one here at Epsilon, St. Paul. We've got one on Gamma. You know what's happened? The Spider's kind of got himself a little out of position here going up to the old Thunderdome.
I think so, but so I imagine. So I would have probably tried to cancel, like, not allow that mech to get Epsilon as easily.
Yes,
So
yes.
let's see if he comes in. But he's otherwise just going to wait until he goes away. Then he's going to come back in and jump on it, I think.
I think that's. I totally agree with you. I think he should be harassing much sooner this Epsilon mech to allow that to be decapped. There's probably cost him maybe 20 to 50 caps potentially, depending on how good his harass was.
Definitely will, yeah. So they're also going to lose Gamma and Kappa, so it's going to be 4 caps to 1 in a sec. Or in about 30 seconds.
The problem is though, WKL, at least the Spider is now stopping St. Paul here from PK from actually converting Epsilon. Although he's now finally converted it. Gamma's about to be converted, but there's a fight at Theta.
See,
Here we go.
he's got too much.
Vortex is about to go and
Summoner
get Scout Derek, and they don't know each other's here. Scout Derek does not know the Vortex is here. Oh,
he's done.
smack!
See ya.
See you later, buddy.
Face plant, he's done.
Yeah, I think
There is.
no way this is going to be. Yeah, I don't think that Brower is going to be able to do much. I mean, all we have to have here now is who's over here. It's Hellsmanix needs to hold, basically hold. What is it, Gamma? He shouldn't be leaving Gamma. I don't think he should be there near Gamma, maybe behind it. So on the far side, just here looking at the map. So let the mech come up to Gamma, but don't go at him. Don't go at him, because now there's no one covering Gamma. If the Spider comes down here and kills Hellsmanix, or disarms him, which is entirely possible here.
He surely has to. There's 1 hit point left.
There we
on
go.
that
He's got his
sword. There
arm.
we go.
See, now there's nothing Hellsmanix can now do. He's totally miles away, absolutely miles away from Gamma, and now the Spider's got free reign to just go and cap it again. Oh dear. Oh dear.
It's not enough. That's the thing, though. 1 cap is not going to be enough.
No, well now they're on Sigma. Yes. No. Yeah. Right. Vortex has moved over to Sigma. Haven't seen that. It's a bit too focused on this Spider business right here. So yeah, no.
I think
You're gonna do it.
the only option was that he fought St. Paul for that cap out of Epsilon.
Yep.
And that summoner has a very low amount of ammo. That was his only option, is to either bleed the ammo out of the summoner.
Oh, here comes Clag Stradamus here, serial number. He's gonna clag this Spider. Hells just needs to stand on it basically now. As long as he shields.
He's still got 400. He's still got 400 rounds of LRM-15.
Oh really?
Yeah, I'm checking now. He's got 400 rounds left.
Well, yeah. Unfortunately, the Spider not enough to to affect a win there. Unfortunately, not enough.
The direct fire LRM's coming in hot.
Yep, you can see that. It's interesting though that he's gone with Loam 15s and no Artemis. Doing a little bit of direct fire testing, Artemis is extremely strong now in direct fire. It will CT hammer you straight away. Like, it's almost as bad as ATMs. They just do more damage.
Did he require max jump jets though to get to his spot? I think that's.
I think that's might be what it is. Yeah, I reckon you'd have to have at least 4 jump jets on that thing. Like maybe 5.
I gotta be honest, I've never actually camped that spot, so I have no idea how to get up there.
Never been up there before in my life. Never been up there. I don't know. Well, there you go. That was.
Let's see its serial number. Let's see the 1K.
Oh, it's gotta be. It's gotta be more than 1,000, man. It's gotta be. There's no way that is under 1,000 damage. I'm gonna say like 1,300 even.
The true carry lord. What a failure. No, let's sub him. He's done.
What is it? Only 700? Oh, jeez, really?
Yeah, no, I reckon we sub him. He can't shoot Doritos. He's out.
That's terrible. No, he's no good at clagging. What's he doing? Unless WKL had some AMS. I didn't see that. That might have...
Are you seeing these damage numbers, though?
I'm just flicking over now. Hang on.
Like, for the potato killers here, 600s from more than... So, we've got 2 mechs in the 600s. We've got 1 in the 700s.
Yep.
We've got 1 in the 500s. They must have farmed them beautifully.
That's some huge, big damage there. I mean, yeah, 757 from Serial there, 600 from Vortique, 600 from Yondu, like 500 from St. Paul there in the summer. That's a damn decent effort there. And considering that Potato Killer's Lights got basically KO'd at the start of the game. Well, not start of the game, but at a crucial point, I should say.
But Why Not Legion had won the match at that point. There was no reason for them to lose ever. But the inexperience of just
I don't know what that was like,
because he got the cap lead. Like,
I'm going to flick over to the map straight. Maybe we could run through this because it'll help everyone at home to see what went on and what happened, because this will actually spell out why WKL lost it, even though the Potato Killer's push was a good 45 seconds late. I reckon at least 45 seconds there.
I mean, I'm just trying to mentally remember here what's going on. So we got the early caps, we got the early cap, and then was it the Osiris started to do a loop of the map?
The Osiris went around to Kappa early, and then got those 2 piranhas. They chased him back to towards Sigma.
That was it from the north side.
Yeah, yep.
Okay, so he eventually died though, didn't he? Die over here on this spot?
No. I think he died over here. They went back, so I think Ragnar in the piranha came back, or somewhere around the back here. Yeah, he over like you said, you were watching that fight. I was watching the other side of the map. He overheated or something and got nuked.
Absolutely, they got the early caps there. Serial number. I'm trying to remember how he got up there because he ended up in a very precarious position.
I didn't see how he got up there, but I can only assume that he's jump jetted somewhere up here somehow,
and then he's climbed down to here.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to watch the replay and stuff if I know how he got up there, mate.
I'm even forgetting which team they were coming from. I'll try to stop swearing.
Team 1. No, he's coming from Team 1 side, so he came up through Echo 7 somehow. Somehow he's jump jetted his way up here,
and he's ended up here. So the entire enemy team has just come up, basically, and stood around like a bunch of stun mullets and got spared like flagged down.
yeah, I know. You've got...
I don't even understand what was happening.
You had Texan here, right? And he's just getting absolutely... what color can I use here? I use white, right? He's getting absolutely clagged upon from Serial up on high. And Tio's the same thing. Like, I think what happened there is it took Serial number quite a while to get up there. But once he did, because he didn't clag them too early, he waited for WKL to set up. Basically in this firing line, like I said, sort of across here. Because, I mean, Tio's backed all the way over to here and was still getting clacked. Like, he's still getting LRM'd. I mean, 800 meters from Lerms, you're still going to get hit, right? No problem.
200 IQ strats. It was...
and then also, don't forget too, we had... was a Vortex over here, putting some really good crossfire in again too. So basically getting LRM'd from one and then getting DAC'd from the other, like...
So Vortex had a really good idea there, yeah. But I don't understand. So the team should have lost for pushing up to here. So there was no reason for them to be at this juncture. Like, they were getting struck to death, they were getting shot, and then serial number was the only redeeming factor for that fight, I believe. Without that
Vortex
Clag,
was, sorry, no, Vortex was over here. My bad. That's where Vortex was, over there. Yeah, no, I don't think they needed to have the two Nikeers, Battlemaster, and something else in that little pocket there at all. Like, you're going to get struck to death. I know for a fact you can strike that Battlemaster, and those other guys in the bottom are going to get hit by an artillery strike every time. Like, it's a very, very... Don't do that.
But then even better, just let's kill the light mechs and then suicide our light mechs for no reason and make them go and hold caps in not the right spots. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
So many throws there.
Yeah, I'm not sure this is the WKL second movement back around here and then getting nuked in this area. But sorry, the PK and then sort of what happened though is the Piranhas went here and then they went here. What the Piranhas honestly I think should have done when WKL were obviously pushing over. I mean, the Texan and Teos knew, right, that the Potato Killers were sort of moving in this direction. The Piranhas should have just come straight up through the middle. Don't worry about Sigma.
Oh,
just come straight up and shoot him in the back and be done with it.
It needed to turn into Killstrap once that mech was clagging them all to death. Like there was,
yep,
they had to make that choice, I believe. But you are correct in that. But then the other option is they had 4 caps. They could have ran as many mechs as they could away from the circle early, or away from Theta early.
Yep.
Like, because that mech serial number, he can only really shoot into that area there. There was no other areas he could particularly affect from what I could see.
Yeah, I'm pretty certain if you're going to draw a line, you can't shoot any further there, and you can't really shoot much sort of about there. I mean, you might be able to shoot down in that direction, but it kind of cuts you off there. So you've got all this area here, all this area here that you can't do much in, you know?
It just made no sense to stay there and get clagged to death. Like, I don't know, it was...
I think they would have should have done is just sacrifice the Annie and said, look, it's unassailable. We can't protect him. You're dead. Sorry. Like, absolutely. We need to back out. We need to keep our 4 cap. We need to keep the game alive here. We've you know, Potato Killers have lost their 2 lights. Just let them make the mistakes now. Like, okay, yeah, we're going to lose an Annie, but that's it. Leave it at that.
Other than that, I mean, there was more throws than a handball tournament. It was just nothing happening. It was, like,
oh yeah.
It was.
I don't know what was. I don't know what was going on there. That was an interesting game. Let's go with that.
What I took out of that, that Hunchback 2CB, I did not expect to see that, and I'll be interested to see if they try to counterplay that, or if they're trying to think, how do we get a mech up there? Like, that was an incredibly powerful position.
Yep. It actually offsets that right-hand side on that Theta from the Team 1 side, like where you're kind of stuck in a little bit of a choke. It opens the entire choke up because they can't sit there in a firing line. They can't do anything about it.
Absolutely, and I mean, it does slightly explain why they were sort of holding, you know, the Theta door there for no reason. It looked like to us they were suiciding their team, but well, let's see if they can do it again.
They could have still had a mech up in that Echo 7 line, Fox 7 line. I still think one mech there would have been ideal, to be honest. But
super important for White Knight Legion though to get the 4-1 here to put more pressure on Smoke Adders. So
yep,
there's still a lot to be gained out of this drop.
Oh yeah, this is very, very important now. Like, Potato Killers need to win this. Like, it's very, very important for them to win this drop.
No, Potato Killers I think are done. No, White Knight are the team that need to.
No, because Potato Killers, depending on the outcome of the other matches, the points, depending on how the Smoke Adder match goes, they could, if Crossfire 5-0 Smoke Adders finished above them, if they win this match, I think that's where it's going to come down to. Very important.
Oh my gosh, the memes coming out now from White Knight Army, they're bringing all of the clag.
All of it, are they?
Oh, there's Supernova A's, there's Sun Spiders, there's...
oh, wow, okay, yep, yeah, I'm just looking, there's ATMs everywhere. Okay, this is a...
I think there's a Hellfire here with ATMs as well.
Oh, wow. On the other side here, we have basically a mirror deck of what they had last game. I mean, there's not really any change there. There's a Nike have been swapped out for Bloodasp or something, I think. But that's about it. There really is kind of no change there. I mean, the Flea for an Osiris. The fight is going to go early, though. Just looking at up here with Scout Derek.
They need to pressure him.
Yep, they need to stop him from taking Theta, which is crucial.
This Huntsman
early.
might one-shot this Piranha, though.
Yep.
Baron's in a lot of trouble here. If he doesn't see this Huntsman, he's going to get one-shot.
No, I think no, Ragnar hasn't realised. Ragnar hasn't realised he just got the incoming missile.
Okay, no, he just got shot by serial number. Serial number saw him.
Well, there we go. Okay, so we've got Yondu over the back there in ER large. Summoner, what's on that? Oh, I can't click on him. A bit too far away.
Summoner is Daka. It's 2 Ultra 10s.
Okay. In the meantime, we've got a little bit of a fight over here at Kappa. What's going on over here? Teos and Nightbird's still in the Osiris. I missed that. So a little bit of ECM there. Oh, here we go. We got a live fight.
Teos needs to go in here. Teos has got him. Teos should win this.
Let's have a quick look. I'm not watching the fight going on in the middle here. I'm just watching this little light fight because it's very, very, very critical. What's going to happen? Oh no! Serial numbers coming here in the fleas. Teos is about to get some fleas.
Aware of this.
But no, Nightbird's stuck. Nightbird's stuck. He's stuck on a rock. Oh, trying to jump jet over a rock and be sneaky. But now Teos is in some serious shit.
Number 3 coming in. Barrett's here to complete it.
Oh wow, Teos got a little bit overexcited here, overconfident, and well and truly overstayed his welcome, and he's dead.
Yeah, I think why not need to make a move here on Theta? They've got their
but Nightbird is legged. After all that, Nightbird is finally legged. I think that I feel like that took a long time to sort of happen. Could have been a bit quicker.
Yeah,
but
the Osiris hasn't got that good a favorable hitbox.
No, it doesn't. But look at the mini map. Team 2 here from they're going to take Sigma, but what they need to do, they need to push up early. But Samara is already destroyed here in the Hellfire. I don't know what happened, but Texan's wrecked too.
Scout Derek here. Scout Derek is going to get the locks for these ATM mechs.
Where's Scout Derek? I can't see him.
He's just behind Yondu.
Oh well, Vortex takes down Texan anyway. The Commando, that's Narc maybe. I don't know. I can't see the loadout and I can't see Wi-Fi because we're not allowed to see that apparently. But Vortex is doing some good work here. The other guys have moved back a little bit. Carl and the Hells are rolling back. They need to get distance on these ATMs. They cannot be at 300 meters. They need to be further back right now. They need to be moving back, but they're not.
I think they've killed enough of them. I think
now the lights are coming in the back. Serial is in the back here, giving Draven some hell. Levels is getting hit here as well. Levels is just about dead. Oh yeah, he's CT. He's like one touch.
Ragnar and Serial Number are going to kill us off this Huntsman eventually.
Yep, Yondu gets Draven. That's some long distance fire right there. Ragnar's coming up here now to get some little tag team action with Serial. That's level going down. Brower can't do anything. He's got ATMs. Can't do anything.
He's done. Yeah.
Drop Bear's going to be.
This match is over.
Drop Bear's going to be finished over. This is absolutely. This is game over. I don't know what was going on here.
Checking Scout Derek, he does have Narc and then 2 SRM2.
Well, he must have been late to the party with the Narc or something. I wasn't watching what the Commando was doing, but I feel like there wasn't enough Narcs early. Like maybe WKL pushed too early. There wasn't enough Narcs.
I think they tried to circle cap a little bit too long. So the Commando went out there for the back cap first, then came back in.
So I'm just looking now on the map, like basically where the Night Gear and Bloodass were positioned for. Potato Killers. Like, I don't feel like they were narked at all. Like, I just get this odd suspicion that they weren't. And that's resulted in, well, this push coming across being ineffective.
Not only that, the Supernova went down so early. Like, they lost, 48 ATMs before they'd even really landed a shot. Hellfire went not long after it. It was...
I just semi-radio casted that. Push. I feel bad. Shit.
Hell yeah.
You can see the map.
So much action.
You can see the map, but it's not very. You can see the map, but it's not very big. I have absolutely screwed that up. Shit.
Oh well, all good.
It happens. It always happens to me.
You guys should have seen what was going on.
Oh yeah, it was the best drop ever. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Well,
going through as well, Osiris actually had 6 mediums. That probably explains as well why he didn't put much damage back on.
Yeah, it's a bit hot.
Mediums is an interesting
choice. Yeah, probably would have gone 5 medium pulse maybe, but I guess maybe they're after the range on this map. But yeah, look, we can we'll draw the strat out for what happened. I know it's a little bit hard to see there on the stream because it's a little bit small, but I think WKL memeing here might have cost them a ladder position.
Well, the thing is that there is, because we scrimmed with them, and we brought ATMs that absolutely, I think, they steamrolled us with their ATMs, and they might have baited themselves with scrim knowledge.
Maybe, I don't know. Not
Yeah.
sure, but
this is huge then. So this leaves Smoke Adder in the best position possible, basically, of just having to what 2-3 against
yeah, Smoke Adders are
Big
not
Cross
in
Fire.
a pressured position now. I mean, not that you want to throw a drop or anything, but if they lose a drop, it's not necessarily the end of the world, and they can still take first place. So
They could lose the series and still win the competition. from
yeah,
my
they
understanding
could.
there.
They could win the division. Smoke Adders comfortably now. Like this actually, WKL, and this is what I mean. It's very important for WKL still to win, and Potato Killers winning this.
I think they're still 1 point behind White Knight Legion because of the 3-2.
Yep.
But my maths could be terrible. Let's just put that out there too.
We failed.
But from my understanding, so Potato Killers will be 1 point behind White Knight Legion, who will be above Death from Above. So does that mean Potato Killers are above Death from... What is going on here?
I don't know.
Someone-
we'll have to do some
someone
quick
help.
maths. Maybe have a look at the
Send
scoreboard
help.
in a minute and work out what the hell's going on. But let
Potato
me
Killers
just...
will be behind Death from Above. Okay, I think I've sorted it.
You've worked it right. Well, let's go
So-
through the damage quickly while I load this up, and we'll cut to the standings very shortly.
All right, Potato Killers, Vortex absolutely going off for 723 damage in that Mad Cat B, followed up with Battlemaster Yondu in 600 damage. Everyone else a bit of a spread, about 300, 200. Lightbird got legged early, but he did all right there at 55. On the other side, wow, Scout Derek nearly did top damage with 208 there in some. In that
That may be a
commando.
strike with a commando or something while you're doing the little bit of a run
definitely
through.
a strike.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had top damage from Brower in the Sun Spider, Drop Bear 288 in the Supernova, and 100 basically from the rest of them.
Wow. Okay, we'll flick over to the map strap very quickly here. Not a hell of a lot to really go over. If I was going to radio cast a drop, this was probably the one to radio cast. To be honest, it's not as critical because it's fairly straightforward to explain. So
Just wipe that off there. So we had pretty much the entire. Hold on, where's my blue side? Blue side came up through this area here, and pretty much all died right there. That was my understanding of most of the drop.
pretty much, yeah.
And from the other side, we had Yondu farming. We had Vortex, I think, farming somewhere over here. A bunch of mechs holding this sort of angle, and yeah, it was essentially a little fight out here with light mechs somewhere in this area. Maybe it was a bit closer. Maybe it was this area here, but the light mechs died over the back.
Yeah,
and
give or
all she
take
wrote.
something around about there. I'm not exactly sure what happened or whatever, but yeah, maybe the commando. I think maybe didn't get some narcs off or something. The problem in spectator mode is you can't see narcs on mechs, so you don't actually know. It's probably actually the only thing you can't tell from really well from a spectator point of view. So a bit hard to see what was going on there.
Well, the ATM changes, like those ATMs were probably just hitting terrain somewhere like in middle of Gulf 7 if they had direct fire. Either way, like it was not a good map for ATMs to be brought as your sole weapon of damage output. Like it's, if you land them, it's great. It's too high risk, high reward for how much that drop meant to them.
I'm gonna actually what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna flick over quickly here to the leaderboard before we talk to the two captains, right? And just go through what this means now.
All right, from my understanding, this is going to put White Knight Legion into spot 2, so slightly above Death from Above here.
Yep.
Now, Potato Killers will go into 3rd place, I believe, between Death from Above and Smoke Adders.
Mm-hmm.
And what will happen there is, with Smoke Adders playing Crane Crossfire, they're only going to be required to win 2 matches to leapfrog everyone else back to 1st place. So it's ended up incredibly close, but 2-3 and Smoke Adders, I believe, win the entire setup. Is that what you take from that? I believe that's what we've.
I think that's what I'm looking at. I'm just doing some quick rough numbers in my head. I'm pretty certain Smoke Adders now 3-2. It doesn't matter what happens. They've got that, so that reduces the pressure on them massively. But yeah, WKL doing that for I think that's going to cost them a position, like almost certainly now on that ladder. So Interesting choice. Interesting choice.
Yeah, well, it seems like White Knight Legion will come second, and Smoke Adders are going to come first.
Yep.
That looks like it's what's going to happen here. Potato Killers did not do enough to leapfrog into second either, so Potato Killers will be relegated to.
They're going to be third.
Fourth place.
Third?
No, fourth place. So
I think it's going to be fourth. Yep.
Third. Yeah. So they'll have Death from Above, Smoke Adders, White Knight Legion, and then Potato Killers. It's going to basically be fourth. Yeah.
Yep. All right, we've got the team leaders here. Welcome, guys. Thanks for the good drops today.
Yeah.
Right, so across the drops, is there anything that sort of changed for drop 4-5 for White Knight Legion? Like, what changed? What mixed up the momentum?
We did not push in when we needed to, or we did not set up when we needed to, and nerfs weren't happening when they needed to. It's pretty much with that one there. Also, evil, like the Potato Killers are much better at trading than we are. They do that all the time. So yeah, there's that.
I did see that you guys were very coordinated in your pushes early on, and then just something was missing later on.
Yeah, I think drop 2 and 3 were very strong from WKL side in terms of the brawl push, focus fire, and all that sort of stuff. Like after sort of drop 3, where were you guys sort of sitting? How were you sort of feeling? And 3-0 up, chance to take the division. What was going through your minds at that point?
After that, we just weren't, like, I just wasn't satisfied with the way those drops went. But that's how it goes. You just learn from it and move on.
I mean, you still had more commandos though. Like the commando was unbeatable early on. Like you needed to play to the strengths there.
You mean the white hole physics? Nothing goes in?
Yeah.
Exactly correct, yes. But what about you, Ragnar? What did you guys take out of today, especially in the first 3 drops where you were coming from behind?
Maybe Ragnar doesn't realize his mic is muted still. Maybe you have to click that button on Discord, dude, to turn your mic on. There we go.
Sorry about that. I think as a whole, we learned that we gotta really improve our brawl game. I mean, we just don't do it that much, so that's something that we have to work on. We typically do a lot of trading, and that's just the style of play that we're most comfortable in. So that's something to take away from this season. Pretty much the teams that beat us are the teams that brawled us.
How did you feel in drop 1 when that periscope went over that hill?
Oh, dude, I just got it.
2 seconds left.
Dude, hats off to WKL, man. I just got annihilated immediately. I mean, I immediately twisted and tried to duck into cover, but it was by then the damage was done. It was like literally 3 seconds, and my mech was just destroyed.
Run that through us though. Why did you guys push when you had 3 caps? Like, I'm super interested to find out on that drop 1 when you had map control. Why did you push into a firing line?
So the plan all along was to push them. We weren't really super concerned with like map control or anything. Like when we said we want to push them, drop 1, and just didn't work out.
Okay, so it just wasn't much. So who's the decision maker for your team? Out of interest, is there someone that makes the call? Is it a team call, or do you
it's
just
a team call? Most of the point, we don't really. Honestly, we don't practice. We don't make strats. We just show up to the maps and play the matches, and we'll have a general idea of what we're gonna do, and then we play. So like it might be okay. We're gonna bring Daga Mechs, or hey, we're gonna bring Laser Vomit, and we just treat it just the same way we treated faction play. To be honest with you.
Well, so let's take it through what was the most exciting match I think I've seen of Div B this season. Terra Therma drop 4. How did you guys think that was playing out, Mr. Samaru?
On drop 4?
First.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How was it going? Sorry, my brain just blanked. It's been tough.
that was the one where we had the hunchback clagging his heart out from the top.
And you got the early light kills on Potato Killers. You got Potato Killers lights out early, yeah.
Our goal on that drop was to control by caps. We had a spider running around doing the bitch work because that's what you do with a spider. and the other lights capping as much as possible to force them to move where we wanted them to, but we just couldn't hold them in position while everything capped.
Fair enough. What about you, Ragnar, from your side? Did you guys
Yeah,
feel like he's always had that match, even though the light mechs died very early?
yeah, we died early, just to piranhas, so we were, pretty concerned, but we had pretty good positioning from Serial and from other people to kind of win that heavy fight, and from there it was just, it was 2 engagements. We won one, we lost one, but we won the more important one, I guess.
Yeah,
See,
it was
I
interesting.
thought it was back to front. I thought you'd lost the important one and
Same. That's
won
what I
the
thought too,
non-important one,
because
but you showed me, yeah.
I think more the point was though that WKL didn't capitalize on killing the lights and didn't basically pull back from that position. Like when the Annie was just getting lurmed to death, everyone just should have just backed off, let the Annie die. I mean, you had 4 cap at that point, kind of thing. So yeah, from the caster point of view, it was like, oh shit, the lights are dead. WKL got this in the bag, and then all of a sudden there's lurms flying down from some bloody tower that we've never seen lurms fly from before.
Yeah, that's trade secret.
So how did we end up on Terra Thermo? Can you take us to why we end up on this map, especially from your side there, Ragnar?
So often
You guys
played
haven't
this map
historically
this
done-
season. So often played Terra Therma in Div B and Div C.
Yeah.
It's been hugely common.
Well, when they banned Alpine straight away, we thought, we wanted to get a decently arranged map, and um, since they didn't want to trade with us, we just thought, okay, we played Terra Therma, we know how to trade here, let's do it.
What about if you Mr. Mario? How come we end up here? Is it the memes or is it the fun? Why do we end up on Terra with White Knight Army?
We didn't want Alpine because of how it's more unbalanced than other maps. So one side it's easier to poop on the other side than it is the others. And then eventually it just wound up on Terra Therma. I was just trying to force it towards ones we had drop decks for and we were more familiar with.
Fair enough.
So which were your 2 default map bans? I mean, both teams had default maps. I mean, the season's over for you guys, so you probably comment on it. Maybe Samaru first. What were your 2 maps that you were going to default ban, and why?
This time, we banned.
Well, every week.
Like
I
you mean
mean,
by
did you not have 2 set maps that you didn't bother to think about or practice because you knew you were going to ban them by default, or were you going to prepare to play on every map?
We like run through different cycles of maps that we'd prepare for. So I just try to make sure we get the maps banned that we don't have strats for at the moment.
Yeah. So which ones
Fair enough.
were you banning, and why was that? What was the motivation behind not picking those maps? Was there a specific reason you wanted to run set strats on other maps? Weaknesses in the team, strengths in the team. Like, what are we talking about?
Comfort levels and map design. That's what it is for us. Comfort levels, map design, and whether we have decks for them at the time that mesh with mechs that we have available that we haven't used in previous. That's
Same to you, Ragnar. Which were your sort of 2 default? We're flat banning those maps. We're only going to prepare for the other 3.
Obviously, we wanted anything that we could range trade on, and obviously anything that's not regularly in faction play is getting banned immediately.
Well, fair enough.
Well, I suppose that knocks out Viridian, but you've so Viridian Bog that's ruled out. But all the other maps are in faction play, so you guys didn't want to play on River City. Was that your go-to map ban as well? I think. No?
Huh?
Ragnar? No.
No, that's it. He's committed.
That's it. Is that enough? Yeah, that's it. Right. Anything else we need to cover? Oh, we covered drop 2 and 3. Definitely better WKL focus. You can tell that you guys are definitely active on comms in that, and I think the Potato Killer strength is a little bit more range trade sort of shone in sort of drops 4 and 5, where comms necessarily aren't as important as long as everyone's kind of shooting the same target. That's a target that's exposed. So interesting learning curve for both your guys. Maybe Mr. Samaru, what's the takeaway for this season for your team? Like, what's your thing?
We need to practice more trading. We just need to practice more trading. That's our weakest thing right now is trading.
You have some very powerful pilots. I think it'll be interesting to see where you guys go for the rest of this year.
I wholeheartedly agree. I think Texan Scrublord is quite possibly a absolute superstar player for that team. Like we were saying earlier, has outperformed exceptionally well every drop, just about every week. So
We put him in what he's good in. If he's not happy with it, then there's like, oh, fine. We'll figure it out.
Take all the tonnage. It's still oils. What are you, Ragnar? What are you guys gonna look to do for the rest of this year now?
I don't know. I'll have to kind of talk to the guys about it, and I know right now it's going to be all about faction play for the next month. So these guys are excited.
Are you guys looking to pick up a drop call? Like, is there going to be a plan for the faction as well? Like, are you going to try to build as well? Like, improve. What's the plan to improve though?
There's no plans at this time. We're just gonna continue to have fun and play the game.
interesting. How about ISC? You guys going to sign up for that?
If the guys want to, yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, that's something we have to discuss. We wanted to get through the season before we even worried about that.
Fair enough. Well,
I'd hate to pick a movie with you guys. My gosh.
I know, right? Holy shit, mate! More indecisive than half the females I know in the world. Holy shit.
Our
Anyway,
movies are pretty straightforward. They're all involve faction play.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. All right, well, thank you guys for joining us. We're just going to round out the cast here, and yeah, great games, good series. Well done. We'll see where the ladder falls based on the Smoke Adders Crossfire game.
Yep.
Indeed.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Thanks, dudes. All right. Anything last to add, Mr. Lerm?
No, nothing I've got to add. Good drops by them, was exciting. Very good.
Excellent. Beautiful. Well, we'll round out here. We've got 1,000 MC to give away. I still need to do that. Let's fire that one up, shall we? What is it? Leagues. Need to. Oh shit! I just kicked out someone by accident. I'll have to redo that. Oops. Now, where am I? I'm in there somewhere. HIJK. There we go. You're not too far away. Now I've got to get the root out of here as well. And the other one. Moobot. Don't forget, Nyrex, please, you need to send me a message, dude. For your mech bay, you need to send me a message on Twitch. If you haven't done it in the next 5 minutes or so, you're probably going to miss out. So, hurry up and do that. This one is for 1,000 MC, and here we go. Wolverine, there you go, mate. Well done. Send me a message on Twitch, mate, and I will get you that 1,000 MC. Well, there we go. That is drop done for today. Thank you for joining me, Lerm, at very last minute notice.
No problem. Happy to be here.
Good to have you along. Thank you, viewers, for tuning in. There are some upcoming matches, which I'll very quickly show here for you guys. There is JGX Eon, a very, very, very important game. Eon need to win 5-0 to take the division, otherwise JGX win. JGX are down a few players, so that's going to be pretty interesting. The Smoke Adders Crossfire game, that is yet to be booked as well. Very, very important. And there's also 42 and MS Crab People coming up as well, which will finish off the bottom end of Division B here. So somewhere around here, they can actually finish above Clan Crossfire, MS or 42. Either of those can jump up above, depending on the outcome of that match and the outcome of Smoke Adders and Crossfire. So keep an eye out for that one. Yeah, just all I could say, just keep out. Make sure you hit the follow button here on the Twitch channels, guys. MWO Leagues, Leagues 2 and Leagues 3. MWO Leagues is probably going to be the only channel being used for the next week, simply because we've only got 3 games left. ISC run by Aces Wild, so the inner sphere only. Is it 5 or 6? I think it's 6v6 or 5v5. I can't remember.
6v6,
6v6.
325 ton drops, I believe.
Yep, that's coming up. Run by Aces Wild, so make sure you are on the MWO Comp Discord. We will. They are running their signups. Aces basically run that themselves, but use the MWO Comp Discord to organize. Because well, it's the new home for comp, right? So make sure you're on the Discord, tuning in. Until next time, guys. I am Just Call Me Ash, and thank you, Lamb God.
Cheers, mate. Have a good one.
Thank you very much. See you later, dudes. Till next time.